I.S.U.P.K.
Give me Psalms 49 and 11. Psalms 49 and 11. You hold 49 and 11. And you give me Exodus 21 and 16.
Psalms chapter 49 verse 11.
Go ahead.
Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever.
They think that their house will continue forever. You understand? These are the same Greeks, the same Romans, the same extension of the empire of Spain, of Britain, of the Portuguese, the same conquistadors and Jesuits. That's what's ruling America. That's what's in Spain. That's what's in Brazil. That is the power and the force of our slave masters' empire, the so-called white man. Their empire is ruling over our people to this day. Keep reading.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
All generations. That's why they had to travel and steal the land from our brothers, the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, from the North American Indians. They had to steal the Caribbean from the Taínos. They had to steal the land of the Aztecs, the land of the Mayans in Central America, the land of the Inca in South America.
That's right.
You understand? The Caribs and the Arawaks. They had to steal and murder everywhere so that they could extend their houses, man.
Right.
Keep going.
They call their lands after their own name.
They do what?
They call their lands after their own name.
Salvador, what?
They call their lands after their own name.
Puerto Rico, port of riches, what?
They call their lands after their own name.
Amerigo Vespucci is how you got America, what?
They call their lands after their own name.
Jamestown, Jonestown, Plymouth Rock, you understand? Chesapeake, Monticello, they do what?
They call their lands after their own name.
They name the lands after their names. That's where we got Jamaica and Haiti and Dominican Republic and El Salvador and Guatemala and Honduras and Cuba and Brazil and Venezuela. These are names and titles that were given by our slave masters that came from Spain and Britain and Portugal and England. That's why the Lord is plaguing them. That's why Spain then had the worst flood for 2 days straight. You understand? Worst flood in 100 years. They got entire cars completely submerged underwater because Spain murdered hundreds of millions of our brothers, man.
Right.
And forced them to be Catholic and Christian and forced that identity of a Latino and Hispanic on us. That come from our slave master.
Right.
Before the conquistadors came, you were not a Puerto Rican.
That's right.
You understand? The Taínos knew that they were Israelites. The Incas and the Aztecs and the Mayans knew that they were Israelites.
That's right.
That's why when they came, the conquistadors murdered all the elders and stole the records of our people.
Right.
But through the grace and mercy of the Most High, our records is being revealed in the earth. Captain Contazar just did a hell of a lecture, a 12 tribes lecture, revealing with all the records in the archaeology that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, man. The Bible say the earth will help the woman.
That's right.
Our records is being uncovered in the earth. They thought that they could murder and steal and kidnap and enslave everybody and extend the houses of their family lines. That's how you got these names.
That's right.
That's how you became a John's son, or a Jenkins, or a Brown, or a Johnson, or a Jackson. You understand? Or a Smith, or a Williams. This is our slave masters' names. That's why when you come into the truth, you get a name from your people, from your fathers, you understand, in the language of our forefathers, to be raised in the culture that the Lord gave to our people, instead of this Christian, homosexual, democratic, school shooting, mass murdering, drug dealing culture that we got from our slave masters.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not.
You understand? That's what the Lord is saying. Read what I gave you.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man.
And he that stealeth a man. There is no getting out of this. If you kidnap Hispanic babies and steal newborns and infants, don't you know they got babies, toddlers, 4 and 5 years old, being dragged off the court on federal immigration charges that can't even speak English or Spanish. You imagine taking some kindergartner and putting them before the judge to face federal charges.
That's right.
That's what they're doing to our brothers, the tribe of Issachar. That's what they're doing to the tribe of Zebulon right now.
That's right.
That's what they're doing to the tribe of Levi and the tribe of Simeon right now. You understand? Keep going.
And selleth him.
And do what?
And selleth him.
They sold black people into slavery. Put us on auction blocks. Stripped us naked, you understand? Just like you see when they want to sell a boxing match. They want to sell a black man in the NFL combine or the NBA draft. They slap your muscles. They show you off. Showcase your skills. You understand? That's what they did to our people for hundreds of years. This is a crime in the Bible.
That's right.
This crime has been committed against our people for hundreds of years, and no one has paid for it. God is making America. God is making our slave masters pay for it now. Keep going.
Or if he be found in his hand.
We in the hands of the people that sold us into slavery.
Right.
We still in their land. You understand?
That's right.
We in their hands. You understand? They have us. You can't leave America. You can't leave. You can't just up and decide that you're going to go back to your land. The white man living in our land.
That's right.
The Arabs are in our land. The land that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we come from the Middle East. Iraq is our land.
That's right.
Parts of Iran is our land. Turkey and Yemen and Saudi Arabia and Lebanon and Jordan and parts of Syria, that's our land. Israel and Palestine, that's our land. We can't go back to our land. Keep reading. Not right now. Not until Christ returns.
That's right.
Keep going.
He shall surely be put to death.
What happens if you steal a man's children? What?
He shall surely be put to death.
What happens if your forefathers sold 99 million black people into slavery? What?
He shall surely be put to death.
You understand? God said that's a death penalty offense. You understand? You stealing somebody's baby, somebody's family, somebody's mothers and fathers, and putting them, God didn't give you no permission to do that. God didn't pass change no legislation, man. These are sins. These are crimes being committed. And if it was any other race of people, the world court would be bringing them up on crimes against humanity.
That's right.
It would be outcry all over Africa, crimes against humanity.
That's right.
All over Asia, crimes against humanity. Britain and England and Italy and Germany, this is inhumane.
That's right.
That's what they said about the Tibetans.
That's right.
That's what they said about the Khmer regime.
Right.
That's what they said about Burma. That's what they said about Darfur. Isn't that right, Uraj?
That's right.
That's what they said Saddam is doing to Iraq. But when our slave master puts Hispanic babies in dog cages, it's not crimes against America. It's not crimes against humanity. We're not looked at as humans to the world.
That's right.
You understand? Nobody sees us as humans. That's why we got to turn back to the Lord. You understand? What did the Lord say was going to happen?
He shall surely be put to death.
God said this is a guarantee that your life will be taken from you for doing this.
Right.
And that's what we see. We not advocating violence in the UPK. We try to save the lives of our people who are being unjustly targeted and murdered.
That's right.
You watch a movie, you love a hero, right? You love Batman, don't you? Don't everybody love Batman, you right?
That's right.
Everybody loves Spider-Man.
That's right.
Don't you raise your kids to look at Goku and look at Spider-Man and look at Superman as the hero
Right.
to rescue the people that's being oppressed? Don't America love Star Wars, fighting the dark empire that's oppressing and using evil and witchcraft to attack and hurt people? Well, why, when it applies to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, why you say we wrong for saving the lives of these people?
That's right.
Because as a Christian, our lives do not matter to anyone. That's why in the I.S.U.P.K, we follow what God said, and we only love the people that God said. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man.
That's right.
All right. Take that. Give me Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. All right.
Joel chapter 3 verse 1. For behold, in those days,
The Lord said in those days, God got an answer. It's not over. God got an answer. Keep going.
and in that time,
Keep reading.
when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
See, the Lord said in those days and that time, this was a prophecy at that time. Right now is the time that he spoke about. The captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, God bringing up that talk about reparations for slavery again.
Right.
God bringing up that talk about reparations for what the conquistadors did to the brothers and sisters in Mexico.
That's right.
Our Hispanic brothers, the North American Indians, you understand, the tribe of Gad and Reuben, the Seminoles. God is bringing that up. You understand? It ain't by accident that it's coming up at the same time that all of these school shootings and things is happening.
Right.
All of these mass shootings, they can't seem to stop. Keep going.
Verse 2, I will also gather all nations.
God said he going to bring all nations. The Chinese, the Koreans, the Iraqis, you understand? Iran, you understand? Japan getting in there. France, Italy, Germany, Spain, America. You understand? The Africans, Ethiopia, Nigeria being thrown in the mix. God said all nations going to be gathered where?
And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
They're going into the valley of Jehoshaphat. A valley is that lowland, talking about the Middle East.
Right.
A great battlefield. The valley of Jehoshaphat, meaning the valley of decision. You understand? Keep going.
And will plead with them.
And will do what?
Plead with them.
And will do what?
Plead with them.
God gonna cry.
Plead with them.
God gonna sing.
Plead with them.
God gonna hold a choir rehearsal.
Plead with them.
God gonna beg America to do right by blacks and Hispanics.
Plead with them.
God said he gonna plead. Give me Isaiah 66 and 16. Hold that, Malak. Keep reading, Ross.
God. There, for my people.
For who?
For my people.
For all people.
For my people.
For the Mexicans in dog cages.
For my people.
For them Hispanics you working on your job and don't pay them. For what?
For my people.
For them brothers and sisters you kidnapping as they go to work to make your economy function. For
Right.
who?
For my people.
For them North American Indians. Them brothers you got strung out on the reservation after you stole their land and murdered the buffalo. For who?
For my people.
For them black people, man. For them Haitians that you got starving to death out in Haiti, man. For the Jamaicans you starving to death because they rose up and got tired of being your slave, and you gonna make them pay for it 1,000 damn years, man.
Right.
You starving them brothers to death in Central America. Won't allow them to sell corn. Starving Mexico to death. Making these drug cartels and filling them with the same AR-15s.
Right.
That you getting killed with here in America in these school shootings, them the same AR-15s that Operation Fast and Furious has been pumping into Mexico and Central and South America since the days of the Iran-Contra scandal.
That's right.
They've been sending United States M16s and AR-15s flooding into Latin America for decades. Now, them same AR-15s is being used in your schools.
That's right.
God said it's a trap that's been laid in the ground for you.
That's right.
The Lord said, whatsoever a man sow, that shall he reap. And our slave master has sown murder and oppression
That's right.
and kidnapping and rape and robbery and theft and lies from sea to shining sea.
That's right.
And now it's time to pay that bill.
When nowadays I work hard on the job till I come cross y'all. Still like I'm a criminal. Crime and get caught, it could be they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretending these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you tell the kids? We tried to put up a fight, but did we fail the kids? Cause they really got us looking like no damn good. And why success got to cost my manhood?